Breaking news: the United States has announced new sanctions against Iran in response to Tehran supplying ballistic missiles to Russia, which are expected to be deployed in Ukraine within weeks. Secretary of State Antony Blinken revealed this during a visit to London, stating that these actions represent a significant escalation by Iran despite previous warnings.
There will be significant economic consequences for Tehran's actions. The United States will be announcing further sanctions on Iran later today, including additional measures on Iran Air. We expect allies and partners will be announcing their own new measures on Iran as well. Iran's new president and foreign minister have repeatedly said that they want to restore engagement with Europe. They want to receive sanctions relief. Destabilizing actions like these will achieve exactly the opposite. As David mentioned, we also discussed efforts by Russia to interfere to wage his war of aggression on Ukraine. Putin is also relying increasingly on help from Iran and the DPRK. In these instances, to get actual weapons, in clear violation of multiple UN Security Council resolutions. Now, Tehran has long supplied deadly drones. It's built a drone factory in Russia. It's trained Russian personnel on how to operate them. For some time, the United States has warned of an additional threat: the provision by Iran of ballistic missiles to Russia for use in Ukraine. We've warned Tehran publicly, we've warned Tehran privately, that taking this step would constitute a dramatic escalation. Dozens of Russian military personnel have been trained in Iran to use the Fata 360 close-range ballistic missile system, which has a maximum range of 75 miles. Russia has now received shipments of these ballistic missiles and will likely use them within weeks in Ukraine against Ukrainians. Russia has an array of its own ballistic missiles, but the supply of Iranian missiles enables Russia to use more of its arsenal for targets that are further from the front line, while dedicating the new missiles it's receiving from Iran for closer range targets. This development and the growing cooperation between Russia and Iran threatens European security and demonstrates how Iran's destabilizing influence reaches far beyond the Middle East. For its part, Russia is sharing technology that Iran seeks. This is a two-way street, including on nuclear issues, as well as some space information. So, as Iran's destabilizing activities spread, so does Russia, sowing even greater insecurity in their regions and around the world. In recent days, we've been sharing intelligence behind these findings with our allies and partners, and working together to ensure that there will be significant economic consequences for Tehran's actions. The United States will be announcing further sanctions on Iran later today, including additional measures on Iran Air.
The sanctions will target Iran Air and other entities involved in this cooperation. Blinken emphasized that Iran's destabilizing moves contradict its expressed desire for engagement with Europe and sanctions relief. Blinken also highlighted that dozens of Russian military personnel have been trained in Iran on the Fata 360 missile, which has a range of 75 miles. This announcement comes ahead of a joint trip by Blinken and UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy to Ukraine, underscoring the continued strong alliance between the US and the UK. We warned Tehran publicly, we warned Tehran privately. But Russia has already received a batch of ballistic missiles, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken. According to Blinken, Russia will most likely use these missiles within several weeks. Meanwhile, the US is preparing to announce new sanctions against Iran later on Tuesday. In particular, regarding the national air carrier Iran Air. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update from WCA News. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.